Hey guys, Hidden Azeroth here, and this week we're going to be exploring the ruins of Stormwind City as found inside Siege of Orgrimmar. While there are a few classes who are able to get out of this boss room, the method I'll be showing you today requires an outlaw rogue with a grappling hook talent. Facing Stormwind City, you'll want to run left towards the farthest reachable stone pillar. Once there, select your grappling hook and begin attempting to click inside of the tower. After a few tries, the hook should target the ground behind the tower and take you outside of the boss room. Once outside, watch your step. All of the stonework directly around the boss room doesn't have any physics collision, and your character can pass through it. This causes you to fall through the docks and prevents you from climbing the staircase. Because we can't use the stairs, in order to get back up to the boss platform, we'll want to continue left until we reach the mountain range, then go up a small hill which will take us onto the top level. Be careful approaching the boss chamber, because the barrier is one way and you can run back into the boss room. The damaged city walls directly behind the boss platform are also non-interactable and can be passed through. Because of this, there's no way up to Stormwind from this area. That being said, there is still a way to reach Stormwind City, but it's a bit of a trek. The first thing you want to do is cross from Stormwind Harbor to Westfall. The quickest way to do this is using a water walking mount, but any mount will work. While passing through the harbor, make sure to keep away from the boss platform, as some of the water near it is considered null space and you'll be teleported back to the start of a raid if you enter it. Another interesting detail is that they bothered to sink the ships normally found in Stormwind Harbor, despite them never being seen during the boss fight. As Siege of Orgrimmar was made prior to the repairs of a park district in Legion, you can still see the ruined original park district outside of the city. As we approach the instanced version of Westfall, the atmosphere abruptly shifts to a dense fog. Following the coastline, we find one of the invisible boundaries marking the edge of the terrain mapped in the raid. Much like the walls found during our exploration of Naxxramas, you can't fall off the side of them, but you can get stuck in them, so be careful. All parts of the base map, like the various mines and fences, have been rendered. However, non-static objects like water found in riverbeds have not been rendered. Following the boundaries of a rendered zone, we come across Goldshire, with the Goldshire Inn precariously hovering into the void. This is most likely because the Goldshire Inn is considered one rendered object, with its center being rendered inside the mapped area. Despite the inn having rendered past the invisible wall, the boundary is still in effect and we're unable to go to the very back of the building. Traveling north from Goldshire, we approach the gates of Stormwind City. Interestingly, as we pass through the gates, the raid music is overridden by the iconic Stormwind theme. The moat's absence of water highlights how tall the bridge really is. As we enter the city, the zone's lighting shifts back to what we find in the boss fight area. The mailboxes and guild banks found throughout the city still work, and the game allows you to speak in and use trade chat and local defense for Stormwind City. The Outlands portal in the Mage Tower is missing, and while the upstairs portal to the larger section is present, it can't be used. While the Stormwind Stockade's portal is still present, you can't teleport into the dungeon through it, and there's an invisible wall a few feet behind it. Like with the rivers in Elwynn Forest, the canals in Stormwind have no water in them. Approaching the docks, we see the ruins of a park district as they appeared from Cataclysm until Legion. However, random gaps and bits of stonework mean that this area was probably edited while it was being moved into Siege of Orgrimmar. The entirety of this wall is marked as non-collision and can be easily passed through. Be careful approaching the docks, as the floor past this point is also non-collision and you'll fall back into the boss area. Like the rivers and canals, water has also not been rendered in the Stormwind Lake. Yet, amusingly, as the small schools of fish are considered base world objects, they've still been rendered and will swim throughout the air. With the absence of the battle portals and a certain High King, the throne room is identical to how it appears in-game. Like before, the static lake aspects have been rendered despite the absence of water. While the Cataclysm hub is still present, its portals are missing. Similar to the stockades, the Deep Run Tram's portal is still present, but cannot be used and has an invisible wall behind it. While this walkway is present in-game, the terrain beneath it has been risen up. It's unclear why the terrain was dropped in this version. In Legion, this area has been overhauled into a faction embassy for allied races. However, here it's still relatively unused farmland. While there's nothing of particular interest farther north, it's still possible to climb this mountain range to get a good view of the harbor. You'll first want to look for a section of mountain with a tree in it. Ride past it, then dismount and use your grappling hook to go farther up the hill. As this embarrassingly long clip of me trying to get up the mountain demonstrates, the trick is to only use your grappling hook a few feet ahead of you. That should be enough to pull you forward. Before recording this footage, I went and checked, and there's nothing of particular interest to the north besides a jagged mountain range and one ravine. However, scaling a mountain range is well worth it for this view. So whether you're an avid explorer, or just a horde player looking to fantasize about the defeat of the Alliance, the instant city of Stormwind inside Siege of Orgrimmar is well worth a visit. And as always, thanks for watching.